Jacqui Briggs. Not gonna lie, this is a character that I never imagined that I would actually be drawing on my channel. Not necessarily my favorite Mortal Kombat character. Also not my least favorite either, I just kinda don't care about Jacqui. And I don't think she's a favorite of a lot of Mortal Kombat fans either, especially out of all the Kombat kids. Being honest, a lot of my resentment of Jacqui might be just from the fact that she was included in Mortal Kombat 11 and Takeda wasn't, when he was easily the most popular of all the Kombat kids, and they chose to go with the least popular one instead. But in any event, like, to me, of all the Kombat kids they had in MKX, she kinda had the least going for her. Like, she has no real personality. Her moves is okay, I guess, but it's like she's just Jax's daughter. And then her design is sort of generic too. I love the way they tried to update her look a bit in Mortal Kombat 11, but still, I don't know. I think she's hindered by the fact that she's in the Special Forces and the fact that it's too much of her being like a little military kid, which is essentially what she is, and there's nothing to that for a Mortal Kombat game. Like I've said before, the Special Forces and the years of focusing on them has ruined a lot of Mortal Kombat stories because the fans don't care about that type of stuff as much. But I feel like if they would have went wilder with a lot of Jacqui's designs, maybe it would have forced them to do different things with her character. Like, Cassie has a bit of a fiery personality. I don't understand why they couldn't have Jacqui kind of have a little bit of that too, considering that they're supposedly best friends. But it's like she's just Jax's daughter and that's pretty much it. So I got requested to actually do a redesign of Jacqui, and while I am thinking of kind of making it MK1 centric, a part of me just wants to go balls to the wall and just make a design that I would want to make for Jacqui and just make her how I would want her to look. Because like I said, I feel like Netherrealm did her a disservice and made her look very, very plain. So I guess the challenge to myself with this design, and I'm glad that I was recommended this, is to just see if I can make her visually look interesting enough to where, I don't know, would add some personality or character to her just by her design alone. That's a crazy task to want to put on myself, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm definitely about to try. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, starting off, I did a little bit of just research looking at actual previous Mortal Kombat designs, and I already noticed that she has a lot of either combat ready, no pun intended, sort of poses, or they're a bunch of like hands on hips, head up, like strong, I don't know, powerful poses or something like that. Like, she looks like she's getting ready to fight in the military or something like that. Like, I don't want those poses for her. Starting off, I just wanted to give her a slight sort of stance to just add something of a different personality to her, or something of a different look to her just by the pose alone. I don't know if that would sort of force me to want to think about designing her differently. In full disclosure, this was very much on the fly in terms of how I was going to make her look. I also gave her a wild hair design just because I felt like, I don't know, I just felt like Netherrealm really played it safe with Jacqui's designs in the Mortal Kombat games. Even trying to design a black female for a fighting game, it's like they could have went so crazy with the design and they did what they did with her. It's like, I get it, she's in the military and everything, but it's like Stryker was in the Special Forces too, and he's just walking around with a backwards cap, and that's acceptable. So I don't think we need to be too strict, like this is the actual United States military. Like, this is crazy. So I gave her a sort of wild look that, I'm not gonna lie, I actually liked from one of the abandoned character design, I guess like the concept arts that they had in, I believe it was MKX. It's either X or 11, I can't even remember at this point, but one of them. I thought she had a really interesting, like almost like a dreaded hairstyle, but it was like long dreads. I wanted to kind of redo that, but I had the idea of sort of making it two-tone. I don't know why, but once again, it's like anything to sort of make Jacqui's look more interesting. Over time, as I kept designing her, I sort of got the idea that I wanted her to look just really unique and really interesting. But after a while, I kind of abandoned that, and I just thought, okay, they tried to make Jacqui look unique and interesting like her own character. I feel like that didn't work as well. So part of the way during the design, I sort of just abandoned that and just thought to myself, okay, if I want her to look cool and I want her to look interesting, what if I just leaned in on the her being Jax's daughter thing? Like, her character is pretty much just that she's Jax's daughter. So what if I just leaned into that and see how interesting it made the character look? So this design over time, like I had the thought in my mind that I was gonna make this design look like MK3 Jax, because I felt like that look is a lot more unique than the MK2 one, which is just a black guy in tights. The metal arms look and the pants and everything I thought looked cool in MK3, so I was leaning in that direction for Jacqui's design here. But I still wanted her to have like the giant like metal gauntlets on her arms. I guess they would still have all the crazy accessories and stuff to it that she needed. And then it would still keep that sort of MK3 Jax look while at the same time looking unique to her, because she doesn't just have metal arms, she just has like metal gloves or something attached. Subtle change, but it's still a change nonetheless. Basically, it looks like Jacqui's design, but almost paying homage to her father. I sort of, after doing the metal arms, I just got it in my head, I might as well just go all in with the metal stuff. So I gave her like metal knee pads and boots. Once again, just thinking of ways to try to make the design unique. I almost gave her a choker, but then I thought, okay, that might be going too far. But I did give her the single pant leg on one side and not on the other one, almost Ruby Riott style from WWE, or Ruby Soho if you're an AEW watcher. So then from there, after finishing the line art, I went back and started the coloring phase. Also, right now, I'd like to take a brief time out to remind everybody to go ahead, if you like the video, to like and subscribe if you haven't. Now getting back. So I went ahead, got the skin color in and two-toned her hair. On happy accident, I actually made the hair blonde and then chose the MK3 Jax design because the blonde hair and the sort of purple actually mesh kind of well. Then the sort of clash that I have in this design is adding red, white, and blue, almost like an American flag design, to certain pieces of her clothing. I don't even know where I got that from or why I chose to add that as part of her design, but whatever. It's still Special Forces like. But designing a top for her that sort of looks like MK3 Jax and then having her pants look like that too, I don't know why I thought that was kind of cool. But that was simple enough. Everything else was metal on her. So then from there, I went ahead and started the shadows of the design, which, as I've stated before, when you have a bunch of metal pieces, at least for me, it's the easiest thing to start doing shading for. I don't know, it's just easier for my brain to handle the shadows for metallic pieces and designs than it is anything else. And I can't really explain why that is, but whatever. And she has a lot of metal in this design, from her belt to her gauntlets to her knee pads to everything. Like, she just has a bunch of metal everywhere. But in doing all the metal parts of her design, that required me to do a lot of highlights as well. Once again, already made easy because of the shadows that I added to the design itself. So placing the highlights in on her skin, changed the highlights, fixed that all up, cleaned her up. And after adding the specular highlights, I was pretty much done. And I have this finished Jacqui Briggs. So let me know in the comment section below what you actually think about the design. Whether or not this is more interesting than her previous Mortal Kombat designs or not, or if it's actually too much like Jax from MK3. Personally, I think it's close enough without being an entire ripoff from it, but whatever. I'm sure somebody else will probably think differently. But that's gonna do it for today. You all have a good one. And I'm out.